Right. So today, I guess my point is just to introduce our project to people who don't know our project yet. So our game is called Plant vs. Undead, right? Or PVU for short. So let's just jump right in. So what is PVU? PVU, in short, is a tower defense strategy game that has the players battle waves of undead by strategically placing their plants onto the battlefield. However, thanks to the blockchain technology, we are able to implement many unique mechanics that don't really exist in traditional gaming. Okay? So let's talk about the core design behind PVU. Like, why do we make the game? So we focus on two things. As you know, PVU is a game first. So the first thing we focus on is the fun factor. Right? We know in the NFT world, many players will focus a lot more on the financial aspect of our game, aka how do they make money from playing our game. However, we as a game designer, we want to make it our mission to make sure that players at least have fun playing our game, rather than just seeing it as a vehicle to make money. You know, the second thing we focus a lot more on is accessibility. Basically, we make sure that our game caters to a wide variety of audiences. There should be a little bit of something for everyone who play our game, whether they are playing it for profits, playing it to compete with other players, or they're playing it just to relax. We also need to make sure that people who don't have a lot of time and money to spend on our game can still enjoy the game, right? Which is probably the most difficult part with NFT game, because most of the time the entry cost for the game dependent on the token price, and we as game distributor, we cannot really control the token price, and it's up to the market. But it's a hard mission, but we're still going to try it anyway. And you will see that these two factors, the fun factor and the accessibility, drive many of our decisions as we move forward. So now let's talk about what the player can expect from playing our games, right? The three cores of the game is you play, you have fun, and then you earn. It's not really an NFT game without any of these elements. And we have three game modes currently, farming, PvE mode, and PvP mode. And all of our game modes will support this model of tokenomics. Let's first talk about the mode that already came out, the farming mode. Farming mode, you can think of it as a playground for players who prefer progression and optimization. Basically, it's started as a support mode, like a small part of our game to support the PvP game. But due to the surge in popularity when we released the game in July, we have decided to make this game its own standalone product. In this mode, players can grow plants, NFT or not, take care of their farm, and do daily quests and gain some rewards. Player can also earn NFT in the form of seeds, which can be grown into NFT plants. And as I said, this game will become its own product. This will happen in December, when the biggest update to the game will come out, update 3.0 by the way, which will include even more activities for players to do, such as fishing, mining, gathering, raising undead. They can also customize their farm. And that is the news for farm mode. Moving on to PvE mode, the second mode of our game. PvE mode, this is where the players actually battle the undead, right? In this mode, player will build a team of plants to battle the undead in endless mode. Players have only a limited number of slots, as you can see here, 12 slots. So they have to think very carefully where they place their plants on the field. Because if they place them correctly, these plants will create synergy. And the stronger the synergy, the more undead they can slay. And the more undead they can slay, the more income they will gain. So they basically have to think a lot when choosing their team and placing their plants on the field. So how do these two modes work together, right? They have to work together somehow. So here's basically the ecosystem for the two modes. In farm mode, you will use your farm to grow your plants, taking care of it. You will improve your plants by gathering materials, by getting fishing, getting mining. And then you will use the already improved plants to battle the undead in PvE mode. From the PvE mode, you gain some currency, some income that you can use to upgrade your farms to grow even more plants. So this is basically the core loop of the game that will come out in December this year. Now, what if you don't want to play farm mode? What if you don't care about optimizing and you only care about beating up other players? This is where our next mode come in, the PvP mode. Oops. Okay, so PvP mode, as the name suggests, is basically for the most hardcore players, right? For the competitive crowd. Similarly, in gameplay to PvE mode, you will use your plans to battle endless wave of undead. However, the twist here is that your opponent will be doing the exact same thing. And your opponent can interfere with your battling process by spawning more undead on your field or disable your plans. Obviously, there are ways for you to prevent this, and you can also do the same thing to your opponent. This constant back and forth interaction is what diverges this mode from the other two and what makes it so competitive and nerve-wracking. Since this game mode, PvP, will be its own game, we plan to build an esports scene for players in this mode, in which only the top of the top players, the top 1%, will be able to battle in terms of a tournament, and they will gain even bigger prizes. I know this was a lot of information, so if you want to learn more about us, you can visit our website at worldwideweb.plantversusundead.com. On here, you can find a demo version for our game. You can test it out for yourself. You can also join our Discord and Telegram channel to keep yourself up to date with our game. And I think that's pretty much it for me today.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Crow. Let's jump to the question part. Regarding to the coming big updates from 3.0, how are you going to make the future economy more stable and avoid economic problems encountered by other games?
That's a pretty good question. Pretty loaded question, by the way. But in 3.0, as I explained earlier, PvE mode and farm mode will go together. They basically go hand in hand, right? PvE mode will be your main ways to get your income, like basically how you're gonna cash out some PVU. But in order to do that, you need to have a sufficiently strong plans. And if you want to have a strong plans, you basically have to play farm mode. You have to go gather materials. You have to constantly take care of your plans to make it stronger. And then once you go with PvE, you can gain some PVU from that. But then if you just use your PVU to cash out, you will never improve your farm. And your farm will stay stagnant, I guess. So that if you want to become even stronger and make even more PVU from the game, you need to improve your farm constantly. That's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's glad to see that the Gamify project is like thinking deep to how to balance the play-to-earn economy. The next question is, 2 years from now, where will PVU be? Is it still on BSC? Will it sustain its economy and community?
I think the last time I have a talk like this, someone asked the same question. Where do we see ourselves in 2 years? And I would tell them that in the crypto world, the furthest you can see is probably 2 months. So I can tell you what will happen in December, not in 2 years, but in December, what is going to happen is PvP mode will come out, farm mode and PvE mode will also come out. In October, you can already participate in the beta for PvP mode, and in the long term, I guess we will build some form of like a metaverse for PVU. We will make some games related to the universe and have them all connected with each other. But I can't tell you the exact dates because, as I said, in the crypto world, everything moves very, very quickly, so things change.
Okay, yeah. Hope like Premier Undead can catch up the trends, like just like Binance, move fast and yeah.
Right.
I think we end up